Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Amar Kalvikatte, Solution Architect at Nutanix, and today I'm going to do a quick demonstration of our Nutanix Zyframe solution. So let's get started. Nutanix Zyframe is a secure multi-cloud platform that allows enterprises to deliver desktop and software-driven workplaces to end users, meaning you can offer a desktop to your employees, customer, or partners. The real focus of is Zyframe is on people who are not VDI expert to their users. This is a truly a desktop where your app is, where your data is. Frame is a desktop as a service, not a software. There are no clients, downloads, or plugins required to install. It is a public cloud native, browser native platform, only app itself. And this app is a multi cloud app that can run on Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS, Google GCP, or Nutanix AHV with 5.10 on premise through a single management console with simple and one click. Using Zyframe, organization can automatically provision and deprovision capacity worldwide and across IaaS providers to adjust to fluctuation in end user demand. So simply you can have your control plane in SaaS managed as a service by Nutanix and a data plane in your data center or any cloud provider as. Moving forward, if you look at the five process here, pick the first and the foremost thing is pick up your choice of infrastructure, either with Nutanix or other public service providers. Then the second thing is authorize your users with IAM or Okta or SAML or even Active Directory. We do support. You can bring your own apps or inline systems. The fourth one is connect to your storage and files, meaning how am I going to access my data? We have integrated solution with, for example, OneDrive or shared drives or SMB. It's all possible. The last thing is delivered this to the users, any location, any device, any browser. There is no limitations. And to do this, we need to do three simple things. Cluster must be running with 5.10 with AHV. Prepare Goldmaster with Windows or Linux and sign up with Zyframe by simply going to mynutanix.com. That simple is it. Um, so let's go to the demo. Um, Let me go to my browser. If you look at, I'm on the UI of Zyframe. If you look at currently, I'm using Azure, West Europe, which is Amsterdam region, and there is one active session it's going to happen. For example, for the demo purpose, for the sandbox. Sandbox is a very important instance. It is a special instance on Frame accounts where the admin of the accounts install applications. Sandbox serve as your gold master image. It is where you set up and configure your application as well as anything else specific to your environment, for example Windows setting. So if you look at with Sandbox, you can onboard number of applications to desktop and applications. So what is needed to set up this sandbox? So sandbox, you must have uh, your VM type or instance type. So this is Air 4G, which is Nutanix Main Convention. But if you look at the same sandbox in Azure, can be available with standard D1 V2 instance. The second thing you need is a disk size. So you can choose the disk size we're supposed to have for your sandbox, depend on the number of users you're going to provision and the capacity must have. And then the operating system here we have Windows 10. So once you have the desktop, once you have the sandbox running, sorry, then the second thing you must do is go to the capacity, and you can provision your capacity based on your organization. For example, if your organization must have 1000 instances, maximum 1000 instances, and you need to provision 250, and the capacity um, with capacity we can define elasticity and scalability of the platform. So maximum every day user can log in, let's say 250 here, even if they have 1000 provision, it's possible. If you look at this tab, you can even customize your number of users based on the weekly and even the weekend. So you can even choose buffer instance levels within those weekdays. Especially in the weekend you can minimize, because there is if you need 10 users to log in, you just add 10 in the buffer size, and then you can choose this. Now for the demo purpose I am keeping one. So if you look at, I have, if I go to status, I am one sandbox and one virtual machine running. If you immediately scale to, then and save it, then you will see the extra VM going to be provisioned for you. uh, but for this demo I'm going to make it to simply one. um, the third important thing is the launchpad. So launchpad is referred to the end user facing part of the frame interface, where users go to launch and manipulate application. User can be given access to multiple launchpads. So for example, now for this demo purpose I have desktop and application, and what I'm doing here at the desktop is basically, for example, if you want to add a desktop, then you can launch a desktop, and the moment you're launching it you need to choose your instance type and the background image. Once you do that, you just on basically allow the application. Desktop by default get all the application which is already onboarded with sandbox. The application itself, where you can allow number of application needs to be there. For example, if I click save here, then application I can allocate, let's say only Chrome should be available. I can do that. For the desktop everything is available by default. So if I need to launch another application, let's say application, let's say Nutanix, and then I can launch it. And once you are here, you just need to choose the A4, and then you just and then attach a background image whichever you want. For example, if I do this, I just save this, and if I need to manage applications, I will attach, let's say the paint only should be available to the application too, and then I'm save it. Once you do that, the last part you must do is adding the users. So we do support multiple authentication platforms. For example, SAML2, where we have Okta, where you can also add Google multi-factor authentication, or any um, your specific infrastructure authentication method like Active Directory, you can add it. Now after doing that, let me go to the my desktop and click on the desktop to see whether I can get access to the onboarding applications which are here by sandbox. And the desktop is now having the connection. So if you look at, now I'm on the desktop. If I need to look at, I can see the 7-zip Chrome um, application. If I go to my application, for example, see I have application one, Nutanix application. If I click on Nutanix, I only can see the paint which I just allowed in the box. If you go to the launch, and if you see the application 2, for example Nutanix application, I only allow paint, which is only allowed here. And that is how you can provision. If you want additional application to be available here, you just go to start session on the sandbox. The sandbox the sandbox session will be opened here, and once the sandbox section open, you just onboard the new application. So for example, now I'm at the sandbox. I'll go here and simply click on Windows accessories, and let's say if I need to do this Internet Explorer. Bit slow now. You see the latency. For example, if I go and I say snipping tool, it's a bit slow now. Um, yeah, if I right click it, okay, okay. So look like there is some issues going on. Yeah. Anyway, so what you can do here, you just go and allocate any of the application onboarded. Just right click and onboard to the frame. Um, yeah, I think it is a latency issue here, but once you do that, then the application will be onboarded here on your sandbox, and then you can provision that application to either um, application 1 or application Nutanix, and then you just simply add that onboarding application, and then application will be available. That is how this demo demonstrate. If I go back to the next slide, there is a use case you can have a look. UB University, where students are using Zyprem access courses from anywhere, and there is a link available where you can go and have a look. Uh, one of the Daniel is one of the spokesperson. He did mention that Nutanix, every student, whether they are on campus or distance learner, has the same platform, the same user experience, the same tool set, no matter what kind of hardware they're using. And if you look at from the cost perspective, after Xi frame has was installed, the college in the Hall of Fame 2017 university leaders quickly realized the benefit of the cloud platform. I think that is the beauty of Nutanix Xi. We are now offering 30 days free trial, unlimited. So get you have a look on it and then subscribe. Um, and if you look at, probably you might have a question on the pricing. We have pay as you grow, an annual commitment pricing. That is basically small use cases where you have minimum five number of users. If you want 100 and more users for the enterprise, what you need to do is you can engage with us, with our sales team or technical person, and we will be happy to do or code the whole pricing model. If you really want to go to the test drive, you just simply click on the test drive. You registered yourself, and we will be happy to give the small test drive, and there you can run this kind of things and launch your own web desktop and application and get used to our platform. That's all. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.